Well, tell us a little bit about why you're out here today.
You know, I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock to an email about the fact that violent offenders had moved into our community, and as a mother, I felt a responsibility to not let that happen.
To protect our children and our families.
I have two small children that go to a school just a few blocks away, and I was appalled to find out that this guy is living here. He has access to the community at his disposal. He's not on parole. He's not on probation. He can do whatever he wants just because he was charged with criminally insane. And we came out here in groups to show that we're not going to stand for it. We're not going to let him live in our community.
They're not welcome in our community. We shop in these stores. We walk on these streets. We play in these parks. And it's our community, not theirs.
Knowing that the state does release violent offenders, that there's no life sentence, where do you think that these violent offenders should go to live?
Well, I personally think they should stay in jail because the children that he committed these crimes against, they are living a life of hell. And for him to be out and free, these kids are not free. And if they're adults now, they're adults that are not free. And I don't know where he should be, but the thing I do know is that he should not be in our community.
Where do you think that these violent offenders should go to live?
Anywhere else. That's a really difficult question. I don't mean to be flip. That's a very difficult question, and I think that as a society we need to come up with a better answer.
You know, I feel bad for wherever he's living, for the people and the children that have to live near him, but I know I have a voice. I live here. I'm not going to let him live near my kids. Right. And I know that this is my protected right to voice my opinion. Let him go somewhere else. Let the next community deal with that. But he's not living in Mission Viejo.
And having them live in a community with grandparents and school children near parks and schools and churches is not acceptable, and we won't have it.
Where do you see God in all of this?
God told me to do this today. I had other plans. I woke up this morning and he said, Erica, you're the one today who can do something about this.
People who prevent or who commit crimes against children, they are not going to be rehabilitated. Let them find Christ. That's great. I'll be happy for them to do that and find their way in the world. But I do not want to take that risk. I love my kids more than life itself. He can find God and go live somewhere else. He's not living in Mission Viejo.
I can't speak for God, and I know that God loves them. That doesn't mean I have to. I know that if they are repentant, God will forgive them. But that God has not put that burden on me today.
Where do you think Jesus would be if he actually lived in this community here today?
I think Jesus supports mothers protecting their children. We are not advocating harm to these people. We just don't want them near our kids. And Jesus calls upon us to protect the children, and that's what we're here to do today.
I honestly did not think about where Jesus would be when I got the email that said that there is a violent criminal that had been released and that he doesn't have to report to anybody. And my 5.5-year-old daughter goes to school a couple blocks away from here. I got to tell you, I did not consider if Jesus would be here or not.
And I hope that information stays constant. But again, it does appear that Dick has left the Mission Viejo area. In fact, has left the Southern California area.
Yeah!